Hi, this is Jillian, and this is a speed paint I did for a fan art piece for A Silent Voice, which is a very good movie if you haven't seen it already. I'll leave links to the original references if I remember. Anyway, I thought this piece turned out really well, and I enjoyed it overall. As for the composition, I decided to go for a more pastel look and colored lines to have kind of an airiness to it. The koi fish, that comes into the movie. It's not really a spoiler, but basically the guy and the girl bond over feeding the koi fish, and there's one other incident where the kois sort of come into play. And kois, they represent like good luck and new beginnings and wishing for good fortune. A koi, depending on like their patterns or whatever, or what kind, they can actually cost like $1,000 or more, which is hard to believe. And they can live for like a really long time. I think the record is like 100 years or something like that, which I'm not sure if I believe that. I'm not entirely sure what the criteria is for the koi in order to make them more expensive. I believe it's the more vivid calico looking ones that are the more expensive ones, like the more gold and red a koi is, the more expensive it is. And the black and the white is minimalized. I think that like the calico ones with multiple shades is what like does the trick. But don't quote me on that. I've always wanted a koi pond ever since I was a little kid, but the maintenance and stuff is just so expensive and time consuming. It just doesn't sound like a good time. Maybe if I ever become super duper rich and can have my own pool boy per se who can also do the koi pond. As if. Okay, a semi-funny story about koi fish. When I was little, I was convinced for some reason that goldfish eventually turn into koi. Like, I'm talking like the 50-cent little goldfish that live like maybe a week. Those I thought turned into beautiful koi fish. I don't know why. I was like 5 years old. I think because there's like this theme park kind of near my house, like about 2 hours away, which isn't too bad. And it has like this koi pond in the middle of it, and I thought that they looked kind of like goldfish, and so therefore they had to be related to goldfish. I don't know, the little kid brain is messed up. Who knows, like, how I jumped to that conclusion. My friend who is way more into like marine biology than me would know more about the koi fish, I would think. But she's more interested in like the saltwater ones, like the saltwater fish. And koi are freshwater fish. So she might not. I don't know. I can't really say too much because when I go to the aquarium, I prefer the saltwater sections. But we have like a Ripley's, and then there's one other one that's not too far from me. And they focus more on the saltwater fish. I don't know if there's just more of a variety or because they're prettier fish. Like, no offense to the catfish, but it is not a pretty fish. Now, it's a pretty tasty fish, but it's not, like, attractive in any way. Like, I think it would do better if it, like, actually looked more like a cat, but then people wouldn't probably want to eat it. Like, I don't know, there might still be some people who would do it. I live in the deep south, not that anyone can tell from my voice. And, there are, like, some people who, like, would be considered probably hillbillies to some, and they hunt, like, squirrels and eat freaking squirrels. Like, I could understand in a survival incident, but I don't know that I would want to eat one just to eat one. Like, there's not enough meat to bother hunting the stupid things. And then I've heard too many stories where some stupid person doesn't cook the squirrel enough and then they get rabies. Like, honestly. Like, I'm not one to want to hunt or to fish, but I can get it. I like eating some of the game meat. Like, deer meat is really good. And rabbit's pretty tender. So, I don't have a qualm with people hunting. I don't want to necessarily do it myself. But, like, why squirrels? Why? I don't understand. And, like, frog legs is one of those other things. And I know that, like, in France, they're like a delicacy or something stupid. And I'm not judging people for their taste in food, but, like, why? They don't have enough meat. Like, in a survival incident, I can understand. And maybe I'm missing out. Maybe they're super duper tasty. If anyone has ever had squirrel or frog, let me know down in the comments. What did it taste like? Was it extra super duper tasty? Like, even though I don't like chicken thighs particularly because there's not enough meat on there to really bother with, it's still really tasty. So, I don't know, maybe I'm missing out. Speaking of fishing, I've only ever been one time and I'm not sure you could count it. It was like this indoor event with this great big huge water area. Like, it was half the size of an Olympic sized pool, if I remember correctly. This was like years and years and years ago. And they had stocked it with some kind of fish. I think it was like carp or salmon. And I'm not sure you could have brought your own rod or anything like that. I got mine from that area. And I caught like the ittiest, bittiest fish. Like, even to a little kid, it was like super duper tiny. Like, they asked me if I wanted to keep the fish. I was like, no, he needs to like grow up into like a big fish. I'm not sure if I had caught like a huge fish, if I would have kept it and been like, here, Mom, you get to descale it and stuff. I'm not sure that she would have tolerated that. She probably would have like thrown it away and then like bought fish from the supermarket and told me it was the fish I had got. That's probably what would have happened. I was like 10 years old, so I still probably would have believed it. Who knows? Knowing my mom, that probably would have happened. Like, when I was in kindergarten, she tried to pass off these little mini weenies as, like, dinosaur meat. And the other kids believed her, but I've been with her while shopping, so, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.